Welcome to the family with
Co-host Catherine Brandt.
Doug Sprinthal.
And Andy Brad Bernard.
That's so funny. Catherine came in and she could tell immediately that somebody pissed me off this morning because she was staring at me like, "Oh God, oh no."
She's had 46 years of practice.
Sure have. More practice than I care to have.
Oh, well, that's nice to hear.
You get so wild about stuff.
I just don't understand why people just don't do their job. That would be very nice if they did.
Okay.
Why? What's wrong with that?
Hello. How is everyone? Anybody?
Freezing.
Anybody?
Yeah. Although
really?
It's like 26 degrees warmer today than yesterday.
Yeah.
So Tom comes in this morning and says, "It's really cold outside. You better bundle up with that wind. Ooh, it's just freezing." So I put on a sweatsuit kind of thing and a puffy vest, and I go out there. Oh, granted, this is like an hour and a half after he went out, but I'm like, it's actually really nice.
Oh, is it not? So the
I'm
wind died?
overdressed like crazy. There was no wind.
Oh God, the wind was whipping when I was out.
dying. I had to take off the vest
Yeah.
and carry it around, and yeah, it was very nice outside.
It was that wind was really cold this morning at like 6:30.
But Minnesota's getting back into what, 28 degrees?
Yeah,
Yeah.
28
Yeah,
degrees,
for
I
a couple
think, yeah.
days, then it's going to go.
Then
right
it's going to get
back in the
real
freezer
cold.
next
I
Yeah.
remember in the old days on the farm thinking that anything around 30 was just fantastic because nothing froze.
Yeah.
The tractor would start. The watering trough wouldn't be frozen over.
I
It was
know.
like, 30 degrees is so wonderful.
Yeah. Yesterday was one of those days where the hinges on your doors start frosting over.
Oh God.
Well, just wait till Monday. -7 high, -14 low.
I don't
No.
like that at all.
It's going to be pretty rough.
So
My
you're
brother-
not going to go to the MLK Day parade, Andy?
They can't reschedule it for maybe like 6 months from now.
Yeah, I think the national holidays don't work like that.
My brother moved to near Boise, Idaho. And they've been there. This is their first winter there. And he's like, what I would like to know is you look at the weather in Minnesota, because he has to come back this weekend for a wedding. He's like, why did I ever live there so long?
A little chilly.
I'm like, yeah, well, a lot of people love that winter. They love it.
They do
The
indeed.
longer, the better, and the more snow, the better.
Yep, Melissa's dad's one of
Love
those.
it like that.
Oh, is that right?
Oh God, ice
loves the
fishing.
winter.
If he could ice fish 365 days a year, he would.
And the snowmobile crowd, although we don't have enough snow, really.
Don't
I know
have
the
any.
snowmobilers are mad
Yeah.
all the time because they don't have enough snow. But that
That
used
whole
to be a
sport is
huge.
changing. Arctic Cat or Polaris just announced they're going to stop all snowmobile production this month. I mean,
Wow.
like forever.
Really?
And Arctic Cat
Really?
got bought out. Yamaha stopped making snowmobiles a couple years ago. I just started reading about this a week or so ago. I don't know.
What are they going to make?
Well, Yamaha makes everything.
Yeah.
And I think the side by side, the stuff still sells really well. But
Polaris, yeah, they make ATVs and motorcycles apparently.
yeah, they do make the motorcycles.
Polaris does? I didn't know that.
I did not know that either.
They're from Minnesota.
I know, and I had no idea they made motorcycles.
I wouldn't know.
Not a clue. All right, I'm going to run something by you guys, and I have not looked at the answer to this question. So I wanted the three of you, I want your take on who's the winner of this argument. Okay, you ready? So we'll go with Catherine,
Catherine wins.
then we'll go with Doug, and then we'll go Andy. Okay, you ready? Science has determined who was more influential, the Beatles or the Rolling Stones. Catherine, who has science said was more influential, Beatles or Stones?
Well, I would say they're going to say the Stones.
Okay, she got one for the Stones. I'm all right. Okay, Doug, what do you got?
See, I personally think the Beatles have more influence, but I think Catherine's probably right. I think that's what they're
One of
gonna
those, yeah.
answer. It's like, and what scientist is studying this? I'm curious. Anyway,
Science
I'm
has
going to vote
determined.
for the Beatles.
You're voting Beatles, so it's one apiece. Andy.
I'm too millennial to have any idea, but
Okay, so you don't
I
want
don't
to
know
vote?
if I had to. But influential worldwide.
It says science. Yeah, it doesn't say. It just says who was more influential.
If we're talking worldwide, probably the Beatles.
Okay, so there's 2 for the Beatles, and it's going to be 3 for the Beatles because my impression is I love the Rolling Stones. Do not get me wrong, but I got to be honest with you, the Beatles kind of changed my life as a little kid. They broke when I was, I think, 11, maybe 12 years old, something like that, and I will never forget.
No,
Kenny Anderson and I swinging on the swings at Cleveland Park, singing "Twist and Shout."
I can name like 10 plus Beatles songs. I can maybe name 2 Rolling Stones songs, like off the top of my head. Well, actually, off the top of my head, I can name 0. But
I love the Rolling
recognize multiple.
All right, so that's we got so far. The Beatles versus the Rolling Stones. It's the eternal rock and roll debate, but maybe that debate has been settled. An indie rocker named Chris Dalla Riva decided to investigate which band had been more influential. He used Wikipedia's list of 479 mainstream rock performers to see which artists they named as influences, and the Beatles did win. The Stones didn't even come in second. Led Zeppelin did. That kind of surprises me.
Huh.
So even though the Beatles won, so the 3 of us, actually 4 of us said the Beatles and 1 said the Rolling Stones, but that was a good, that was more of a battle thing.
Yeah, that was like we are assuming there's going to be a gotcha, because it usually is.
Yeah, right.
Well, this one these are the top 10 most influential rock bands of all time. Number 10 is Red Hot Chili Peppers. That surprises me.
For Gen X, they were definitely like a big thing.
Well, I suppose that's true. Number 9 for me would have been at least number 2 or 3, Jimi Hendrix. I loved Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin, as he said. Queen was number 8, Elton John number 7. Bob Dylan didn't even make the top 5, which surprises me. He's number 6.
That is surprising because at one point, the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and the Beach Boys all wanted to be Bob Dylan.
Yeah, that's
And
exactly
Jimi
right.
That's true.
That's very true. So I'm surprised Bob Dylan did not make the top 10. Very surprised by that. David Bowie, number 5. I like David Bowie, but he was not, I don't think he was influential at all, was he?
No, he was. That whole androgyny thing.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I suppose.
He made that big, I think. Or at least he, popularized it after it was a thing.
Number 4 is U2, like U2, but it shouldn't be in the top 5, I don't think. I mean, when you got Bob Dylan and Elton John, number 6 and 7, really? But then you get to the big 3, the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin. Number 1 would be the Beatles. And the amazing thing is the Beatles got 50% more mentions than the number 2 band. Huh. I mean, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
So where's Chuck Berry in all this?
I know. I love Chuck Berry.
All of these people, when they first started to play guitar or join bands, were playing Chuck Berry tunes.
That's very true. Very true. The last 5, the list actually goes to 15. Bruce Springsteen, Green Day.
Yeah,
what?
Millennials, absolutely.
Okay.
Like older millennials,
Okay.
every single person
Like
was into Green Day when I was in like middle school.
Aerosmith, The Who, and Metallica.
Where's the Bangles?
Yeah, the Bangles.
Bangles.
The Bangles are in here. I don't know why, but the
Prince.
Bangles didn't make it.
Prince wasn't in there. That's interesting.
Yeah, Prince wasn't in there.
That is interesting.
Have any of you guys seen A Complete Unknown yet? The movie about Bob Dylan?
No, but I want to see it
we're gonna
badly.
go see
Really,
that.
really good. So it covers from when he moves to New York through the 1965 Newport Folk Festival. So it's really focused. The guy that, for me, knocked it out of the park, I mean, Timothy Chalamet did a great job as Dylan, but Edward Norton played Pete Seeger. And if you closed your eyes, he sounds just like Pete Seeger. And
Really?
He's a terrific actor. I think he's just wonderful. And it's worth seeing. So I went with 2 of our boys. One of them really didn't know much about Dylan at all. And I said, so what'd you think about the movie? He goes, it was pretty good. I kind of want to listen to some of these records. So for a disconnected 24-year-old, that's a pretty high praise for a movie about a guy who's 80.
No question about it. I do remember one time, and I can't even tell you how many years. It was many, many, many years ago. I was going for a walk around Lake Calhoun, because I used to love walking around lakes. 3.1 miles exactly around Lake Calhoun. Always knew the distances and all that good stuff. But as I was walking by, I glanced over my right shoulder, and Bob Dylan was sitting on a bench, a park bench.
He was sitting on a bench.
Sitting on a bench.
Mind my own business.
But I couldn't bring it to myself to approach him. I thought, no, he's way too big a deal. He just wants some private time to himself. So I did not go over, even say hello to him or any of that stuff. But I'll never forget that seeing Bob Dylan. That was quite a thrill for me.
I had a friend, and she introduced me to her cousin, and we went over to her cousin's house, and they were all very, very proud of the fact that they knew Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan has been in this house. He's had dinner here. Bob Dylan, Bob Dylan, Bob Dylan, Bob Dylan, Bob Dylan. I was like, I don't even think I knew who he was. I think I was 13.
I saw him once too. His oldest, I guess it's his stepdaughter, although I think he adopted her, went to McAllister. She was a year behind me. And I was walking through, and McAllister's a small school. I was walking through the main courtyard, and I looked over there, and it's Bob Dylan talking to, it must be his daughter. And like you, I really wanted to say something, but
Yep.
no.
Yeah, I know. I didn't do it. I wanted to walk over and at least say hello, but I just said, this guy probably never gets a moment's peace.
Yep.
So his daughter is married to a local guy that you might know of. His name's Peter Himmelman.
Oh, sure.
Had a
Yep.
little bit of a recording career, but he played in Shangoya in town for years. And we used to see him at Duffy's and Nibs all the time. Really, really good musician. But imagine as a musician how intimidating that would be when your father-in-law's Bob Dylan. God,
Yeah.
that would be scary.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
like, why
indeed.
bother? Because you're just always going to be compared, or, the only reason why he has a career is because his father-in-law's Bob Dylan. You know.
See, I actually am a Peter Himmelman fan. And he wrote a really cute song. It's a folk song, but it's about a family. It's about a dachshund. And what it's like, it's called Dixie the Dachshund. And
Dixie the Dachshund.
It's a very cute song.
Everyone loves dachshunds.
Yep. Admiring the German shepherds who can drink out of the toilet by themselves.
Well,
It's
there
not
you
like a
go.
Rolling Stone, but it's a pretty good song.
It's a very good. Well, Alex has a dog that can drink out of the toilet by himself.
He would never.
He would never do it, but
No.
he could.
Love a dog.
He's too good of a dog. Birch is the greatest dog in the world.
Birchie is a great dog. There's no
Sorry to
question
tell you.
about it.
I mean, I've got another one, but
Judy,
Doesn't
cover your
care.
ears.
It's
Cover your
true.
ears, Jude.
I mean, no, all dogs are good dogs.
Yeah,
All dogs
they
have
are.
great personality, but like Birch is just like so. He's perfect.
He's eager to please.
He's
That's for
perfect.
sure.
The perfect dog.
Truly the perfect dog. Like when he passes away, there will be no one will ever meet up.
Well, the
Yep,
dogs
he's
put
your
all
dog.
the dog flags at half mast.
They better. They better.
Speaking of which, are the flags in Minnesota just permanently at half mast?
Well, they're supposed to be nationally because Carter died for 30 days.
Right.
30
Yes.
days. Wow.
If
If
Oh,
a
yeah.
president
No
dies,
wonder.
it's a for a full month. Yeah.
I suppose it's
Yeah.
been a while since a president has died, huh?
Governor Abbott, he's Texas, right?
Yeah.
He's like, no, he's like, we're going to keep him at half mast until the inauguration, and then we're
Well,
gonna,
the Speaker of the House said the same thing yesterday.
yeah, I mean, it really has to supersede, I would think, a death.
Yeah, you think the flag should fly
Yeah,
high.
the future is better than the past as far as
Yeah.
Although
I agree
precedent
there.
was that's Harry Truman died right before Nixon's second inauguration. And they left it alone, but I don't know. People are going to get upset about that.
Yeah,
And
either way,
Let's-
people are going to get
Yeah.
upset.
let's maybe get upset about some more real stuff.
Let's
Right.
see. Jimmy Carter was just recently. HW was 2018, so that's
Yeah.
not that long ago. But then before that, it was Gerald Ford, 2006.
Yeah.
So we haven't had one in quite some time.
You know, what's really sad about Carter is I always had this image of him as, building houses for Habitat for
Yep.
Humanity.
Yes.
Just this guy doing all this stuff, and he was in his 80s and he still was out there swinging a hammer and doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
Now, all I think of is them rolling him out
I
to
know.
go vote for Kamala.
Yeah.
He's like, his mouth is hanging open. He looked half
Oh,
dead.
yeah.
It's like, now that's the image that I have.
that's-
Thanks
Yeah,
a
that's-
lot.
That's the worst when you
Yep.
have like
Guy.
this.
When Rosalind died, he just went right downhill. Well, he had cancer, so and he's a
Yeah.
billion, but
I know.
Yes.
it was,
Oh,
How
yeah.
old was he?
100 he was 100.
yeah.
He was
He was
100.
a
He was the oldest president to ever live.
He was 100?
100
Yep.
years old. He had
That's
just
amazing.
turned 100.
So I think, look how old was John Adams when he died? Not
90.
John Quincy.
Let's go
He
back.
was 90.
So he
Yeah.
he was
Going
born,
back.
so he died in
Adams.
1826 and he made it to 90, which
Yeah.
is
That's
That's-
yeah,
that's remarkable.
crazy for
They had-
that.
It was 100 years before they invented penicillin, and he made it to
Yeah.
90.
Oh God, that's right.
yeah, but most of the youngest presidents to die were in the 1800s, which isn't surprising.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But the
yeah.
youngest president was not.
Because they
JFK.
didn't have
Yep.
penicillin.
Well,
Yeah,
the
but getting shot doesn't-
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
it's not a lot of penicillin will help that.
that's not gonna-
What was he, like 38 or something like that?
46, but
Oh,
yeah.
46.
I'll
Yeah,
say-
well, that's right, 38. Yeah. I was thinking of 48. That's what I was thinking
Speaking
about.
of-
It was
James
46.
James A. Garfield died of septic shock from a gunshot wound. William McKinley died from gangrene from a gunshot wound.
Yep.
You gotta just not get shot.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not
Generally the goal.
usually good for you.
Generally.
Speaking
Let's-
of penicillin, what was that show that we watched last night with Dan Aykroyd?
I just brought it up on the first show, Dougie. What
the
was
heck
that
is it
again?
called?
Oh, Tevin looked it up, and it went one in one ear and out the other. It almost sounded like a Dave Schrader kind of title.
If I Google Dan Aykroyd penicillin, will I
Aliens in your
get
living
this?
room?
Maybe.
Dan Aykroyd 2023, was it, or 24?
Yeah, he did the show about this cave in Africa that's just humongous. Elephants go in there and
Yep.
they scrape away salt with their tusks so they can have salt. So this cave has just gotten bigger and bigger. And then some explorer went in there and came out and just sort of bled out and died.
Yep.
Called Marburg's disease.
Marburg,
it's like
yeah.
worse than Ebola, and of course this is before penicillin. And there was another case of that same virus, which was very strange in Northern Europe, someplace. That was the first time it had ever been seen, and that's why it was called that.
Yeah.
And then this cave had this Marburg's disease, and they finally traced it to bat poop.
Yeah.
That was bat poop.
It's
yeah,
always
exactly.
bad
Bad
poop.
poop.
It does always seem like
time.
Bats or rats or basically just
Every
don't touch
time.
anything.
Well, you think where they go into places there's no sunlight, there's little, fresh air. It's dark, damp. I mean, gross stuff just breeds in that kind of place.
Look at
So,
you. Doug just said stay away from poop. Good,
Altogether.
plan. But last
Be good.
night I was making an almond butter filled date, and then I was going to dip it in chocolate, and I had the date like sitting out on our counter.
Oh, no.
And he was like,
Hmm.
"Is that a turd?" And I'm like, "Yes,
yes,
it's
I
just
would
a
have that on the
turd
counter.
sitting on our counter."
That's a turd on the counter.
Of course it is.
That's exactly right.
Is it unbelievable with Dan Aykroyd?
Yes.
Unbelievable,
Yeah.
yep.
It was a good show. He just
Really
narrates
good.
it, but they talk about all kinds of crazy stuff that you like. People that I think it was in Africa again, right?
Mm-hmm.
The kid that rode his bike to the next village,
Mm-hmm.
and literally everything was dead.
Yep, everything.
Everything, bugs, everything was
It
dead.
killed all the insects even.
That
And the way-
sounds like radiation. to me.
Yeah.
Well,
that's-
apparently,
that's
what's
weird.
really strange about this one was so there's a volcanic lake, and it still has a lot of activity underneath the lake, and somehow fresh water caps all of these noxious fumes in there.
Oh, yeah.
And so all it takes is a land, like a landslide, and then all of a sudden all the noxious fumes come out and kill
that's
absolutely
scary.
everything. And apparently there's another village in Africa that millions of people live around, and it has the same sort of situation, and it's like one landslide away from that happening to millions of people.
Eek.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 million people are saying.
Yeah, they think that like
Yeah.
4 million people will probably perish when this happens. It's not like it's it will happen.
I would move.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Move to LA.
Move to LA and breathe in the smoke.
I would move so much.
Yeah, I mean, so
about-
he covers stuff like that. It's not really paranormal, so much stuff, but
It's like real stuff. Well, think
Indeed.
about all in LA, like all the air quality,
Mm.
yeah.
and like that's going to be horrible
good.
forever.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be seeing cancers 60 years from now from this, probably.
Yeah. Well, and like all those people that like the actress Mandy Moore, singer actress.
Yep.
Her house apparently was like the only house in her neighborhood that didn't get completely destroyed. Like their main house is pretty okay, I guess. She's like, our house is miraculously. I feel like I'd be like, no, I don't
Well,
want
it's
to live
gotta
there.
happen.
Like There's got to be just so much
smoke damage.
this gross
right?
stuff, and then also just like going back into your house and everything else is burned to the ground,
Yeah.
and you're just like, here I am in my living room. I don't know. That would just
Yeah.
I thought you were going to
It's
say you'd
weird.
think it would be inhabited by a demon or something, holding the flames at
Hey.
bay so it can't get home.
Yes.
you never
Could have
know.
been.
That's what
Could have been.
I'd be like, okay, the one house in the entire neighborhood that wasn't
Seriously.
incinerated,
Yeah.
there's something
Yeah.
supernatural going on.
Yeah, like
here.
their garage
Let's stay out.
burned down and like some other part, but like their main house is like fine.
But that happens with hurricanes and things too.
Yeah,
where
it does.
Where it's just
Sometimes
like
it
the
just-
wind
One
just
place,
changed at the
yeah.
perfect time.
Tornadoes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Mhm.
There you have it. I'm going to read a story, and the women have to guess the amount. Okay?
Uh-huh.
I'm frightened, Auntie Anne.
If you're thinking of divorcing your millionaire husband for Brad Pitt, make sure he's the real Brad Pitt
Oh, I
first.
saw that story.
Did you really?
Yeah.
So
I
you,
didn't.
you saw it too, Dougie?
Yeah.
Apparently I'm the only one.
I
oh.
don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so Andy and Alex get to vote on this one. A 53-year-old woman in France got scammed out of money by a fake Brad Pitt. The scammer first pretended to be Brad's mom, but said she was exactly the woman that her son needed. The victim,
Brad Pitt's mommy.
Yeah,
is
mommy.
getting him dates.
Matching them up.
That
the
sounds
victim-
plausible.
the victim then received messages and AI photos from fake Brad for a year and a half, like poems and even a marriage proposal. The scammer started asking for money by saying they'd send her luxury handbags if she paid for the customs bill.
there we
Eventually,
go.
fake Brad claimed he was hospitalized with kidney cancer and needed money for treatment. Why would Brad Pitt need money from you?
And
And
why
that
would
would
they
not be a
pay
national
for
story.
Customs.
That does not make any sense at all.
None of this. How old
None.
is this person?
Yeah. I'm hoping
53
she's-
she is.
I know.
Wow, that's
it's
way
really
too young.
sad because these people get scammed all the time. They really do. They're
Oh,
sad. They're lonely. They don't have anybody. These people befriend them and they start talking to them.
Yeah.
Pretty. It's just. It really is sad.
he needed the money because his bank accounts were frozen due to his divorce from Angelina Jolie.
Sure.
That's why he couldn't get his own money.
How that works.
The woman even received emails from a fake doctor that said Brad was fighting for his life, so she transferred money to a Turkish account.
Turkish.
Turkish.
Fake Brad Pitt screwed her out of $850,000. Oh, man.
Well,
I mean,
800.
she's only 54. It's not like she's 154.
53. She's
It
not 54
seems
yet.
like you should be able to figure this out. I'm sorry.
You would think.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Anytime somebody needs money, you want a car when you were in Jamaica. I never was in Jamaica. Well, you must have entered it at the Home and Garden show.
Mm-hmm.
No. Your dentist's office had. Oh, okay. I don't remember that, but I want a car. Oh, and
Yeah.
all you need to do is send us $5,000.
Sure.
For the excise tax, or they just make up anything. And
Catherine, there's people in this country that think the world is flat.
okay.
That's true.
what are you talking about?
Well, oh, sorry. I forgot, Tom.
You don't think it is?
Haven't
Snowed
started the treatments yet, apparently.
My brother encountered some flat earthers, and he said, you know what? When you talk to them, they've got a lot of convincing arguments for it, and they really truly do believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so weird. People talk about them all the time. I have never once encountered
A flat
a flat earther, even
I
on the
have
internet.
never either.
Not once. So I don't know
exist.
what I'm doing right or wrong, but
Something.
I don't know.
We have a little
There we
sticker somewhere in our house that says we only have one flat earth. We might as well take care of it. Because Dan and I both love conspiracy
Mhm.
theories.
Yeah.
We don't
Why
think
is-
that the earth is flat, but we love a conspiracy theory.
You don't think so? Why did Nana just run out of the room?
don't know.
Great.
What did I do now?
We're all in Minnesota, and she was right next to you.
Yeah, but she didn't
Yeah.
even turn her mic off. She just got up and ran out of the room.
Probably Jude.
No, Jude didn't follow her.
Oh,
Jude's still laying here sleeping. Well, he's not even sleeping. I want to run something else by you guys because I don't really understand this. And you guys, you would be, what are you again? Gen Y? Is that who you are?
Gen Y, aka millennial.
Millennials.
So millennial. Okay, you're millennials. So Gen Z would be the people 25 and younger, something like that?
Younger than us. I think it's
Gen Z is where are you? List 97 to 2012.
97 to 20, so 28
those
is the
days.
oldest.
It's the cutoff 28.
Looks like 28 is the oldest
Is the oldest
Zoomer
Gen
at the
Zer.
moment.
Okay, this is not good news. You could see it coming. Doug and I already experienced it once today. So it's getting worse by the minute. Gen Zers say they would rather text a coworker even sitting right next to them.
Oh, totally.
This isn't shocking.
Why would you want to do that?
This isn't shocking.
Just their culture now.
We were just talking.
Yeah.
I was out to dinner with two of my sister-in-laws and my mother-in-law. And my sister-in-law, one of them works at an elementary school, and then the other one has kids that are younger, but her daughter's 11, just turned 11. And apparently the one that has an 11-year-old daughter took her in for like a checkup, and her doctor was like, very seriously, like, you need to teach your child how to talk to people.
Yeah.
It's like, it is so seriously disturbing how children don't understand social interactions. And she was like, he was very like serious and very stern with me about it, because not that like she thinks like he thinks that her daughter is very social and everything, but he was just like, as a pediatrician, I feel like it is my job to start telling people that their kids need to have social interactions, like speaking face to face with people, because it's so bad that kids like don't know how to talk to people.
Yeah. I mean, I was like that for a long time though, and I grew up well before all this kind of stuff. And like,
Yeah, but
that's
you're
the weird
special.
thing. I am different, but the weird thing is like, I would spend all day talking to my friends on the phone. Like literally, I was on the phone 12 hours a day sometimes.
Yeah.
But then I hated calling people on the phone.
Yeah. Well, that's because of dad.
It's
What?
so bad.
Yes.
It's 100% because of dad. Because
What do you mean?
I still don't like calling people like strangers on the phone, because you were like, everyone is going to kidnap you
Yeah, the whole what was that kid's
no
name?
matter what.
Adam.
No, it's not.
Not Adam.
No, not Adam. Jacob Wetterling.
Jacob
Wetterling.
Wetterling. Yeah.
Jacob,
Adam.
Well, there was an Adam.
Oh, everybody's going to kidnap you.
Yes.
Oh, I
Yes.
thought you meant him.
No,
Either
it's
of
So
us.
Jacob
I got it.
Wetterling.
No,
Oh,
no,
no,
your
no,
father.
yeah. They
I
No,
just- I
yeah,
misunderstood.
dad
No.
really,
Yeah, the post Wetterling years were
Yes.
not great for
Dad-
kids around that age.
really was like, trust no one.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely
Well,
nobody.
Well,
why don't we do this? Why don't we go back and you guys sit in the room with his mother 5 or 10 times and not feel what that must be like to lose your son to a psychopath.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's
So let's just remember that I spent a lot of time with Patty Wetterling. Just ran, sorry again, matter of fact, about a year ago, something
We
like
just
that.
had her on the show.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like a
yeah,
year
after
ago.
they
Yeah.
found
Yeah.
after they found his remains.
Yep, and I just,
Found
Patty,
it.
just sitting through that, all those years and years and years with Patty Wetterling, one of the nicest people you'd ever want to meet. And then you find out some psychopath neighbor of theirs murdered her son. It just, for no reason, just he decided to do it.
Adam
Right.
Walsh is what Mom was thinking of.
Adam Walsh.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
the
there was a-
America's Most Wanted thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know
Wrong.
that.
Kidnapped.
Basically
murdered
the
child.
same story.
So-
But Wetterling
Story.
was local to us. So
The
Yeah.
father
Yes.
that started that story, his son was kidnapped and murdered out of a shopping mall.
Mhm.
I think he was 7 years old or something like
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in Florida, wasn't it? I
that. I
think.
think it was.
Yes,
yeah.
it was.
Was it?
Yeah, it was in Florida that happened. I remember. He's another guy I used to have on the show all the time, and just hearing him talking about it just tore your heart out because you project it all on your own family. Obviously, what would that have felt like losing one of the two of you? I just, oh God, I can't even imagine what that feels like. And luckily, I don't have to, so that's good.
Yeah. So
But I
have
mean, you know,
I have a question for should have been a Dr. Andy.
should have been a Dr. Andy. Here we go.
So yesterday I had my annual neurology consultation for my sumatriptan for my migraines.
Uh-huh.
So she wants me to take a daily pill, which they tried that last time and that didn't work for me. I had all kinds of
Propranolol, I'm guessing.
yeah, I had all this haloing and all this weird stuff. So she wants me to take something called nortriptyline.
Sounds good.
So I'm looking it up. It's like, check with your doctor immediately if you have agitation, blurred vision, burning, crawling, itching, numbness, prickling, pins and needles, or tingling feelings, chest pain or discomfort, clay-colored stools, cold sweats, confusion,
Okay.
rigidity. I mean,
Mom.
depression, difficulty in passing urine. Do I want to take this drug?
Mom, go to
Probably not.
an acupuncturist.
I did. I went to an
For how long?
acupuncturist for a year.
You went to an acupuncturist regularly for a year.
I did.
I don't
Yes,
remember
did.
this at all.
I did. Not last summer, but the summer before.
You didn't go for a
6
full
months.
year.
I went for 6 months. It did not work at all. Sorry. I wish it did.
I remember Andy and I bought you
Yeah.
years and years and years ago, like 5 sessions at an acupuncturist, and you never used a single one.
But I
There
did
you
go.
go.
I did go. My friend
go
Katie
eventually.
Harms.
To a different
my
place. A
My
different
friend Katie Harms said that she found this great acupuncturist, and it just didn't work for me.
How about
So
physical
anyway,
therapy?
so Andy, have you ever heard of this drug, and am I going to die if I take it?
It's a tricyclic antidepressant. They've been around for 1,000,000 years.
Antidepressant.
Generally speaking, the worst side effect you're going to get is you're going to be very tired. So take it at night.
Oh,
Well, if it's
but what about all this stuff? Loss of consciousness.
Well,
The thing about the FDA trials is if one person experiences these symptoms, they have to put it on the label as a possible.
oh,
No,
sure.
but have you met me? I seem to have.
Well, but just because someone during the trials had this doesn't mean the drug caused it, but they can't rule it out. So, I mean, some guy, has a heart attack during the middle of the trials, just as a coincidence. They have to be like, oh, well, he had a heart attack. Put it in the rare side effects.
Oh, they did say that you have to have a good heart. They said you can't have any heart
Well,
problems.
who's got a
taking
better
it.
heart than you, honey?
I'm just saying.
Negative
No
Nancy
black-hearted
Hart.
people allowed.
Well, there you go.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to take it.
Like I said, tricyclics are not a big deal. I tried it for migraines 1,000,000 years ago. It just made me so tired I was sleeping 12 hours a day. So I was like, nope,
Oh, God.
can't
12
be
hours
doing
a
that.
day. That sounds delightful.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Take 2.
If that's what you want, then yeah.
Constantly
Night. See you in 12
fall
hours.
into a never-ending sleep.
Well, it would be nice if I could get some help with sleeping because I don't sleep very well.
Yeah, you're not a very good sleeper.
Well,
no
that'll
question.
make you sleep. That's for sure.
You're not.
But I don't want to be tired all the time either. I know.
Yeah, that's the thing is I never
hate-
stopped being tired.
And then you get these people. You should take turmeric. Take that horrible heartburn. Can't.
Really?
Even the natural stuff. I don't know. My body just hates everything.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Dan got me in my stocking, like sleep. They're like whatever, all natural, whatever. And I was like, I wanted to be, because the kids think Santa does our stockings. And when I took them out of my stocking, I wanted to be like, why? I'm like the best sleeper in the world.
Yeah, you're a great sleeper.
So I was like, why sleep gummies? Like what I wanted to be like, what made you think?
Because he sees you when you're sleeping and he knows when you're awake.
Yeah, like Alex needs these. I'm like I'm like a dog. I can just lay down somewhere soft and fall asleep any time of the day.
That's a great
within
thing.
minutes.
That's what soldiers do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have been a great soldier.
Yep.
Yeah, you would have been a really
My
good.
dad was
I
like
would have
that.
been a great
Literal
soldier.
soldier.
My
The
dad
sleep
was
part,
like
that's
that.
about it. But yeah, so Mom, I think maybe I'll give them to you. You
So
can
why
try
did
them.
why did he give them to you?
I don't know. I haven't asked because I
Oh.
like when I got them, I was like,
Mhm.
what? And then I forgot about them because
Maybe
I
he
don't
thought
need
they
them.
were for something else.
No, it says right on there like sleep, whatever. And it's got, like mushroom extract and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't need this.
Yeah, we do the same thing. Santa's the stocking guy.
Yes.
Ah.
Santa does stocking in one small present.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. So Fawn, her cousin calls her on Christmas Day. And they're video talking. And their cousin Ivy is like, guess what I got for Christmas from Santa? And Fawn's like, what? And she's like, a new iPad. And then Fawn's like, and she's like, what did you get from Santa? And then she changes the subject because Fawn got Twister,
It's the hot spot.
which is what she asked for. because we're like, okay, think of what you want from Santa, and she wanted Twister. Sage wanted an Etch-a-Sketch.
Ooh, there you go.
Our 80s
Oh, they're not
children
thinking-
are
Or
just
thinking
1966.
big enough. They're
Yeah.
not thinking
yeah,
big
true.
enough.
It is more 60s. Yeah, I know. But
I
then
still have a Santa list from my daughter Ellie when she was 5, and nothing spelled right, but
oh yeah,
very serious.
yes,
A hula hoop,
hmm
a dog that talks,
great,
and gum.
perfect.
Well, there you go.
That's all you need.
Ethan's was like a
Um,
chef's hat.
Chef's
Just
hat.
a bunch of random crap.
He wants a chef's hat.
Oh, Sage made one over this summer that was 4 pages front and back. Like he wrote, he has really big handwriting, so it was
Well,
like
nonetheless.
there were like 5 things on each side, but it was like a Wild jersey, a Twins jersey, a Vikings jersey, a T-Wolves jersey.
It's to me one jersey for every team in existence.
Yeah, all of these things. My friend Paige came up with a really good idea to sell like solid colored hats, like black, blue, white, whatever, that have a Velcro on and off that you could put every, like, you're going to a Wild game,
There you go.
Wild thing on there. You're going to the Timberwolves game, Timberwolves thing on there. Because she's like,
She should do that and
I
make
know.
$20 billion and not tell people.
I know. I
That's
told
actually
her.
a really good idea. If you could
Christine-
get the sports logo team, don't you have to get licensed to use the
I
sports
think that's the problem.
logos?
Yes.
You have to get a license from every single team in order to have all of the logos.
Yes.
That would be tough and
We could
expensive.
just change it a little bit. It'd be like the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, there you go.
The Timberwolves. There you go. That'll be
The
big.
Timberwolves.
Yeah.
I know, but I was like,
That is
that
a
is a
good
really
idea,
good
though.
idea because
The
she's
Vi-
like, people have so many like sports people have a hat for every
Yep.
single team and like all this stuff. And she's like, it'd be nice if it was just like, here's my hat.
The Minnesota Vikings.
Yes.
Well,
Well,
that's very true.
at
No
this point,
skull for
I-
you.
Can't win.
Sage woke up the morning after that game and was like, Dad, who won the Vikings game? And Dan was like,
God.
not the Vikings. And Sage was like, aw. And Dan went, you'll get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will get used to it. Yeah, well, there you
Don't
go.
have
like-
low expectations,
was
and
like-
then you can't be disappointed.
Like, this is why I didn't watch them because I was like, I will not have my hopes built up again
That was
just to be crushed.
nasty.
I'm not
Who
doing
could
it
blame
anymore.
you?
Those
Like they
last
have to
2
prove
games.
to me for years
Mhm.
that they are a good team before I'm even going to care.
Yeah.
Not doing it. No, can't do it.
I
But
suppose
I
that's
am
true.
on the Rasmussen family text message thread, and the whole time, every game, it was just like text after text after text about everything. And I was
That's like
"Yeah."
you and your brothers and sisters.
Oh, my brothers and sisters and the nieces and nephews do that every Viking game. And literally from 2 minutes in, it was like, this team sucks. That was interesting. I got to run this by you guys, the younger guys. Catherine and I will sit back and watch. Run this by Andy and Alex. Also run it by Doug, because, Doug, you've been in bands off and on your whole life, haven't you? Pretty much.
Yep.
The 10 big gigs, the 10 best concerts to see in the Twin Cities this week. I have never heard of any of them.
So this
No,
week.
I'm guessing
Doja
All
Cat.
right, let's see.
Okay,
it on
you
me.
ready?
Yes.
The 10 best gigs this week would be Joy Oladukan.
No, I don't. Pretty.
Oladokun.
Who is-
Oh yeah. Oh,
Where is that?
Oladokun?
I guess. I
Where
don't know.
is Joy playing?
And I'll get back to that. Jontavius Willis.
Never.
Never
I
heard of
love John Tavius.
Jamie Double X.
Nope.
Doug, you don't even
Nope.
know either. Miles Kennedy.
Nope.
No idea. The Headhunters.
Oh, yeah.
well, that was Herbie Hancock's old band.
That was Herbie Hancock, but I don't think
Probably
It's
it's
probably a different band, though,
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Lizzie.
Just
Not
Lizzie,
Lizzo?
not Lizzo.
No, it's Lizzie.
Lizzie,
Lissie.
not Lizzo.
No,
Just
Just
Lizzie.
Lizzie.
Jukebox the Ghost. I've never heard of any of these people.
Oh, let me tell you a little something about
Jukebox the Gown.
famous touring bands. When they're putting their touring schedule together for the years, they have big X's over Minnesota in January. And
Yeah.
nobody
Oh.
wants to come here in January.
That's
That's
true.
true.
You know, Don
Good
Henley
point.
had split. Let's see, we could play Oahu or the St. Paul
Yep.
Civic Center.
Yeah.
Why? Here we come.
Yeah.
Jukebox the Ghost has been active since 2003.
Are they
Oh.
from
They're-
Minnesota?
They're
or are
established. No, Washington, D.C. metro area.
Huh.
They... Never heard of them.
Minneapolis is one of only 4 cities to get the piano punchy DC area pop rock trio's 3 nights, 3 albums tour this winter. Oh
Sure.
Lucky
boy.
us.
I've never heard of any of the. Oh, wait a minute.
That's 'cause
The
we're in
Minnesota
Tony.
Orchestra. That I've heard of
I was
them.
just there.
Yeah.
Oh, you were there?
I was just there. They had
That
a
we
Beatles
heard of.
tribute.
Oh, that's right. How was that?
Oh, it's fabulous.
I love the Beatles still to this day. Well, we just had
Absolutely
that.
fabulous.
We just ran down that list. The Beatles are still considered the best band of all time.
Because they are. There were 3. No, there were only 2 singers. One of them was Irish, and the other one was from
Oh, they had singing.
American or something.
Huh.
But yeah, there were 2 like main singers. One was like more of a Paul, and one was more of a John. And then there were a couple backup guys, and then the orchestra played as well.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. They did a nice job. They played Eleanor Rigby,
Oh,
and
that song
it was
always makes
like
me cry.
and just
hearing
hearing it played like that with like a full orchestra it was so cool. One of the senior girls at Fawn's dance studio is doing her solo to Eleanor Rigby this year. I know. I saw like there was a whole list put out of everybody's solos and what songs they were dancing to, and I was like, and it's a tap solo. I'm really excited to see it. I get to see it. I don't know.
Why did you
when.
bring that up? Eleanor Rigby.
What?
She died and nobody came to her funeral.
Yeah.
She probably sucked. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know.
Eleanor was a bitch.
Terrible.
I,
She
yeah,
was
like
a bitch.
Eleanor was the worst.
She
Like,
deserved it. That's
mean,
really.
I don't really feel bad for her. She probably was terrible.
You might know this, but Paul McCartney, every musician has a different style of writing songs. He was all about the melody, which is why he's a great songwriter.
Yeah.
And he would figure out the words much later. If you watch that documentary about the
Yeah.
making of Get Back,
Oh yeah.
when he's doing was it Get Back? Yeah, I guess it was.
Yeah.
I mean, he creates it from scratch with no idea what the song's going to
Yep.
be about or the content or the words, and that's kind of that's his way that he does it. Now, if this gets boring, just cut my mic off. Elton John is totally the opposite. So his writing partner was Bernie Taupin, who would give him a sheet of lyrics, and Elton John would go, let's see. It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside, and this song would come out. And to me, that just seems really weird and hard to do, to
Yeah.
take, a written, basically a poem.
Yeah, just
is
like
what most
words
songs
and then
are,
turn it into
and turn it
it.
a
Yeah.
great pop song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the working title for yesterday was Scrambled Eggs. When Paul McCartney's working
Right.
yesterday, it was like
Yep.
Scrambled
Oh.
Eggs,
Scrambled
what I have for
eggs.
breakfast every
Every day.
day. It's like, okay, it's a great melody, great chords. We need to work on the words a little bit.
Yeah.
When did you first join a band, Doug?
It was when I was going to Marshall U. I was probably in 10th grade, I guess. And me and my Native American buddy and a couple other guys from Southeast Minneapolis started playing Grand Funk Railroad covers. That was my first band. We were terrible.
We were
and
terrible.
Anybody that starts a band when they're 14, except for the Beatles, who wrote really
Yeah.
great songs when they were simple, but they wrote One After 909 and all that stuff when they were like 15. It's like, God, you guys suck. I mean, from an envious point of view.
From an envious point of view, no question about that. Yeah, that's, looking back at all the initial, I remember the first time I ever heard Elton John, I was in Lincoln, Nebraska, visiting my friend Roger Agnew, whose father owned KFMQ, I think it was KFMQ radio down there. And all of a sudden, this Elton John guy came on the air, and I'd never heard of him. So that would have been what, like 60,
Probably 69 or so.
69, somewhere in there.
One of my favorite records of his is called 11-17-70, and it's just him, bass player, and a drummer. The drummer's still playing with him today. Doing a live show in a recording studio in New York for a radio station. About 100 people there, and they just tear it up. Burn Down the Mission. All these great live tracks are on there. And this is before the platform shoes and the wild outfits. It's just 3 English guys killing it.
I feel like after he broke with Bernie that he just went into this big commercial success.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I mean, he still had some decent songs, but they just were never had the heart that his early stuff had.
Yeah.
Well, Crocodile Rock, are you
What the
kidding
hell?
me? I hate that song.
On the way
Ugh.
here, why can't I think of the name of the song? If you like pina coladas.
Escape?
Escape.
The Escape.
Yeah, that randomly played on my playlist. And I was like,
I'd throw the playlist with the phone right out the
I was
window.
like, all right, sure, we're doing this. Because it was like, Bill Withers and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden it's, if you like pina coladas. Like, sure, why not?
Who was that by again?
It's a problem.
Rupert, wasn't that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rupert
Not
Holmes.
Rupert. Yeah, not
Holmes?
Rupert.
That's the
Murdoch.
problem with the Keys, going to the Florida Keys. That song
it's
is
just
Everywhere.
everywhere you go.
15 seconds.
Hey, it's got a great message.
And
Sometimes you just have to-
Margaritaville.
Just
Margaritaville.
have
What's
to
the
cheat
other
on
Yeah,
the
the-
partner with
But
your
no,
partner.
you have to reconnect
Yeah.
with your
Accidentally,
partner,
but still.
Yeah, I know.
Did you know that the
It's
original
such
lyrics
words.
were not "If you like pina coladas"? It was much crappier. If you like Humphrey Bogart.
What?
What?
If you like Humphrey Bogart. That was the original lyrics.
Oh, because of
Horrible.
Paul McCartney must have written that.
that's,
There's a placeholder. We're gonna put
Humphrey
Humphrey Bogart in there.
that's weird. Oh no, I have to leave.
Oh,
Sorry to
Well,
be
we
the
all
last
do.
to
We
show
all
up
do
for
in
the
5 minutes.
show,
So what are
but
you gonna do?
I have to go help first graders learn to read.
No, this show is going to
Do
move
it.
to an hour later.
oh, are we like doing the announcement now, or
Yeah, I would
Go.
hold
I gotta
off.
go.
No, I'm not holding off on anything, but I'm just saying. So, Alex, 11 o'clock works fine for you anyway, because you got here at 11 o'clock, and that was good, or 10 o'clock.
No,
no?
10:30. Right? When does it? What's happening? I have to be out of here by 11:30
That's what I told them.
for sure.
Okay, so we'll
and
figure
I've
it out.
told you this as well. So
We'll figure it out one way or another,
I
or
have
else
to
I'll
be-
just retire because
I have
I'm
to be
having one of those
gone
days.
by 11:30 because I have to be at school typically at noon. Okay,
Perfect.
I'm sad.
off I go.
I'm happy. I'm sad.
All right,
We
we'll
love
see
you
you later, Alex. So, why did? Oh, yeah. What's only 10:40? Why'd you have to leave now?
She has to teach first graders how to read.
But
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, you have to teach them that A makes an A sound, like apple.
what?
What? That's what
I
you
don't know.
do.
Trying to get all this to fit together is going to be rather interesting.
We have a
so we'll see
3-year-old,
how it
and we're
goes.
teaching him. He knows all his letters thanks to those letter robots.
I will tell you, honest to God, I called Andy yesterday talking about some different stuff in the meeting you were in, Doug, and all the rest of that. And I was trying to talk to the entire time I was on the phone with Andy. Ethan was in the background. No, let's do something else. No, I don't. He was talking the entire time Andy was on the phone.
Yep, he does not stop. He hates it when you're on the phone, just like every
He
kid ever.
does hate it.
He is a force. Does he eat now? Is he ever eating?
He does this thing where he basically doesn't eat for a day, and then the day after that he eats 50,000 calories.
I just don't understand how he can survive on air and have all of that energy. It's
I
just
don't either.
impossible.
Well, plus he's muscular and he's only 3 years old
He's a
almost,
strong
or
little
whatever the
shit.
hell he
I don't
is
think
now.
I could bring him down anymore. When he runs away,
He's
so
strong.
He's like
Yeah.
a boulder.
Yeah, sometimes he'll just not eat until like noon,
Really?
like at all.
Yeah.
You'll give him his morning cup of milk, and that'll be good. He's good till noon. But then other days, like today, we gave him 2 pancakes, and he said, "I want more." And I gave him 2 more pancakes, and he said, "I want more." So I gave him another pancake.
Sounds like it's time to teach him how to cook.
Yeah, for real. Well, he actually did. He helped mix. He has this little mixer that he uses to help mix the pancakes, and then Melissa pours them.
The fact that he wanted a chef's hat, I wish I would have known that because Fawn, when she was, I don't even know, maybe 3, around 3 or 4, I got her like a chef's outfit. Had the hat and the apron and mixing spoons and all this stuff, and she was into that for a long
Yeah,
time.
Ethan loves to help in the kitchen.
Good for him.
Indeed.
Good for him, bad for us.
Yeah, it'll be a little messy, but
A little bit.
All right, we only got a couple of minutes. Any closing statements by the crowd?
trying to think if we have any words of wisdom. No.
No words of wisdom at all. That's it. No
Did you
question
talk?
about it.
Oh, you talked about Lenora's today already.
I did talk about Lenora's, and I
In
talked
case
about
they listen to
Paulie.
this show accidentally instead of the other
Lenora's?
show. Yeah, we went out to this
Great
restaurant
restaurant.
called Lenora's. They've got a few restaurants down here in West Palm Beach, and they're opening all over the place. It's an Italian restaurant. They make a lot of stuff from scratch.
Really good.
And we went and sat outside in the cold, although they turned on a heater for us. That was
They
nice.
turned on the heater. Yeah, it was
And
nice.
the server was Javon. He's been there for like 8 years.
8 years.
Wow.
I think
Started
you're right.
as a bus boy, and now he's one of their top servers. And the manager's name was
Paulie.
Paul.
Paul. Yep.
Yeah, it was really a nice night.
They came out and said, hey, how's everything? Everything good? They were just very, very nice, really good people, and yeah, I like that whole situation. And then I segued from, hey, you'd love this food. It's really, really good, to the fact that I watched about 5 minutes of the news this morning before the morning show. I can't do it.
No.
I cannot watch the news anymore.
shouldn't
People
do it.
are at an all-time low as far as caring about anything other than themselves.
Yeah, and you carry all of that around with you all day long.
I
so
do,
it's
yes.
not a good thing to watch.
You're right. All right. Any closing words? Nope.
Tomorrow morning, watch the new Wallace and Gromit movie. Then you'll feel
There's a
better.
new Wallace and Gromit movie.
Yeah.
Wow. How long has it
Andy's
been?
all over that.
I think it came out late last year.
No, I mean, like, how long has it been since? Like, what was the gap between that one?
Oh,
and
it
the
had to
previous
be 15 years, I
Yeah.
would think.
I remember when I was a
Really?
kid, it was the wrong trousers.
Yeah. My son loved.
Okay.
We had the wrong trousers,
Mhm.
pants movie daddy, cheese movie where they
Oh,
go to
yeah,
the
the
moon,
cheese. Yeah.
and chicken movie with the, that was the
Yep.
wrong trousers with the,
Yeah, with the evil chicken or whatever.
Yeah, it was actually a penguin with a chicken disguise.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's been a long time since I've seen
They're
that.
so cute. They're so
They are.
wonderful.
They're
So
very
watch
cute.
Wallace and Gromit. Don't watch the news in the
Watch
morning.
Bluey. Watch episodes
Yeah.
of Bluey.
Bluey's wonderful.
Everyone
Bluey
should
is
just
a good
watch
show.
Bluey. Yes.
Bluey is a good show. That is going to do it. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Got a picture in my noggin reminds me of this was before. Every time I hear the singing reminds me how you talking